a bit late, blame it on the heat, blame it on the traffic, blame it on our laziness. Let us start. I request Suresh Reddy or Madhu Yaskhi, Ramachander, and also Mohan, please come on to the dais. Guruswamy Center, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you for coming this evening. As I said, braving heat, and also all the distinguished speakers on the dais, Madhu Yaskhi Goud, Ramachander, and Suresh Reddy. It is not a pleasure for me and a privilege to present to you this evening an event which, in a way, is a sequel to what happened 2 weeks ago. We had a discussion on Telangana Lok Sabha election battleground. We termed it as a battleground. He was that enthusiasm to speak. So we had a set of speakers who represented the media, civil society, and journalists in action. So we had a good discussion. We thought we will follow it up with people in the field, people who are actually involved in politics, the rough and tumble of Indian politics. So this event today, in a way, is the continuation of the discussion we wanted to extend, and the role that I was given for having volunteered to do was to present and continue this. So for me, it is a greater pleasure because when I put up this small brochure on my social media handles, some people said this looks like your some college alumni group. So then I said no. Then I asked who's the odd man out. Then they said Ramchandra. Then I said you're wrong. This is an Usmania University alumni group. So I'm very proud that this group of people are all, been in politics for the last 40 years. And all of them have made a mark. All of them have achieved quite a lot in politics, as well as their own fields. So today, we thought we will have a discussion which will revolve around each of the parties' role, how they see the national scenario, how the events emerge in the next 2 weeks. So somebody asked me, is there any wave in Telangana and Andhra? So I said there is no wave except the heat wave. Then I had gone to Andhra Pradesh, I had gone to a bit of Telangana. And then my friends keep calling from Delhi and North and say, what is happening? So they said there is no Modi wave. There is no wave, in fact. And I would have been very happy to have projected a slide. One of my scientist friends from the Indian Institute of Meteorology in Pune wrote an article on the present heat wave. There is a visual of the Indian Ocean. And if you see, the entire region is red, boiling. So the temperature rise in the Indian Ocean region countries, right from India, Indonesia, Thailand, to part of China, from 1970 to 2020, the increase in temperature is 1.2 degrees. In the next 80 years, it is going to be 3 degrees centigrade. So if that happens, from boiling red, I don't know where we'll land up. So I think climate issue has become a very, very serious issue for all of us to address. And without taking much of your time, I will just introduce the speakers today, starting from Suresh. And it so happened that Suresh and I happened to be in the same batch. And we hardly met. We knew each other very little. So Suresh was one of those very silent chaps in college. But then what happened, I became a journalist and he suddenly surfaced as a MLA. So I was very delighted that the silent guy now become an MLA. But I did not know his background at the time. And over a period of time, I saw him becoming the Speaker of Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly. And, I was so thrilled when he organized one of the wonderful joint sessions of the Assembly and Council, calling the late President Abdul Kalam. And it was so well organized, and I'm very happy to see my own batchmate doing such a wonderful job. And all of you, I think, in this auditorium know that he is a very refined, good speaker. He brought in a lot of dignity to the position of speaker in the Legislative Assembly over the period of time. And later on, he was also quite popular in the industry circles, in different fora as a speaker. But of late, I suddenly was a bit surprised that he chose to get into a regional party from a national party. But then he is now a Rajya Sabha member, and I'm sure that he will definitely contribute to the debates in Rajya Sabha and do well. Wish him all the best, and welcome to today's debate. The second, Madhu Yaskhi Goud. And again, I am so privileged that Madhu was my junior in college, Nizam College. And Madhu is like, he's taken to politics like fish to water. In college, I used to see him, meeting everybody. I never realized that, for a period of time, he became what he is today. But he was Mr. Cool. He was also has a very disarming smile. He never gets angry in room. But, outside in a group, he can become very ferocious. He can shout and yell. So he has this wonderful combination of being cool where required and being hot where necessary. But what happened was after the college days, he vanished. He became a lawyer. He went to Delhi and went to the US. So I was wondering what happened. This guy has not become a politician. But then in 2004, I suddenly found our man landing up in Hyderabad, going to Nizamabad, filing his nomination and getting elected. So all these 10 years to 15 years in between, Madhu had opened a law firm in New York. And he was one of the successful law firms helping immigrants not only from India but Mexico and some of the Latin American countries to become naturalized. So a successful lawyer comes to Hyderabad, gets into Nizamabad, becomes an MP, and that too at a time when Rashtra Reddy was the most powerful guy, CM, and dictating. But Madhu would become an MP for 2 terms, 2004 and 14. So as an MP, he rose, he became close to Rahul Gandhi, and as many of you might know, the Congress had a youth group with Rahul, then Sachin Pilot, and many of these youngsters, some have gone to the BJP and so on. But Madhu has been loyal to the Congress, and for 4 decades, he is one of their spokespersons on TV. He is today the chairman of the Telangana campaign committee of the Congress side, and I am very happy that he is here today to discuss the party and what it wants to do. The third speaker is Ramachander, and again Ramachander, I met him in the university. So he was doing law and I was doing journalism. And the first time I met him, he was contesting a very tough battle in the Osmania University. Those were days when the RSU, the PDSU, SFI were very strong. And this happened in the ABVP. And that election, I just can't forget the RSU, PDSU, the campaigning, the number of people who landed up and all that. But then that was the first time I saw Ramachander fighting a battle. And after that, he's been fighting, as I say. And I think he's contested 8 elections. And he's such a sportive guy that he takes defeat as another great example and fights. He finally became an MLC. And he is very, very articulate, very strong. And today he is is the president of the Hyderabad BJP unit. Okay. So he is again from, as I said, all of us are from the 1980s, 40 years in the field. And the best thing about all these three gentlemen, friends, is that all three of them will also pick up the phone and help you. They are all excellent friends. Politics apart, they are all excellent friends. They are good humans. They can help, which is something I think very, very good to see in politicians. Not that many do not, but in my experience, these are gentlemen who have really done well. Today, we hope to have a very good discussion. And the fourth speaker, the moderator of the evening event, Mohan Guruswamy, is very well known to all of you. He is an economist, analyst, he writes, he talks. He's been analyzing Indian politics and economy threadbare. He doesn't mince words. He doesn't leave anybody. He's blunt, straight, lot of words in a lot of talk. So I'm sure today we'll have a very good session. I invite Mohan to take over. Thanks for the listening to my introduction.
The three panelists here, I suddenly feel very old because I was in Nizam College 63, so you can imagine these people are talking about 18 or 19. I was way ahead in time. Yeah. I'm reminded of a custom in Alaska, which is a province of the United States, where an Indian Inuit community has a custom when 2 or 3 young men are interested in one lady and there is a contest for her hand. The tribe has a custom of arranging for a meeting where the 3 or 4 young men stand and start insulting each other. So finally, some guys get tired of the insults, can't take the insults, and they start leaving. Finally, the sole survivor, the man who's taken all the insults and everything, gets the bride. So our elections remind me of this custom. There's very little debate, discussion, whereas elections are supposed to be based on policies, discussions, ideas. But it's not their fault. It's the way our media has emerged, how TV has given us short span attentions and short span focus. The guy will come and ask you, sir, give me a bite. So what is a bite? Just say yes or no. So this entire medium has now shaped our debate. And now social media has come, is beginning to shape our style of debate entirely different. But as you see in the newspapers every day, today I was looking at the newspapers, all the people featured on page 1 were abusing somebody else. Somebody called somebody a cobra, somebody called a snake, and somebody's run off with somebody's wife, all kinds of things. No discussion of what is happening. An important event took place in our history. Last year, Bangladesh's per capita income went past India's. India today is the poorest country after Nepal and South Asia, individually. We, after 70 and odd years, our literacy level is still 61. 39% are illiterate. Government, as I discovered, doesn't exist outside the highway. We call it the tarmac syndrome. And when you get off the tarmac, there's no government. When you go to a village, who's the government there? All the village water concourses are clogged with plastic. There's a water problem in most Indian villages, but it doesn't come up for discussion. So these matters we don't see. They should be discussed in elections, but it is not being discussed at all. It's easier, I suppose, even for media people to report when there's abuse, and this is what we're getting treated to. So I thought it might be a good idea to have some senior, experienced people, thoughtful people with a reputation for sobriety come and speak on issues their parties stand for and what they stand for and what they think should happen in the country without taking very strict partisan party lines. And I think we couldn't do better than have three people like this. I've appeared with Madhu on a panel on Telangana some many years ago, where his opposing panelist, who was an Andhra MP, walked out of the meeting saying that if Madhu Yaskhi is going to speak like this, and I was the moderator, saying that, and you're allowing him to speak. So I said, look, I'm from Hyderabad, I'm sympathetic to Telangana, so you must bear with me. And Ramachander is an old friend, we've met each other over the years. Suresh is an old friend also. Families know each other. And at one time we thought that Suresh would rise high in the Congress party, but he decided to change course and went to the TRS. But who knows? Everybody is shifting sides. Now, so we can expect something. And of course, today we're sitting here in Secunderabad. The Congress candidate is a BRS MLA, and the BJP candidate in Malkajgiri has seen all the parties. So only one party. So it's very difficult. So I said basically we have now we have to put the gotra of the candidate. He is Congress via BRS, and he is BJP via Congress. So it's very interesting politics. So nothing can be recruited. That's basically because we have not committed to positions. So we've got a situation today where we will have three eminent speakers. We should lose them, and we're going to have each one speaking for 12 minutes. At the end of 12 minutes, at the end of 10 minutes, I'm going to ring this bell, which I haven't seen for a very long time. Last I saw it was at the post office. And so keep ringing this bell, and I'll give you a buzz that it's time to wind up. So 2 minutes you can close up, and then we will finish this. I'll try to sum up the short period, and then we'll have question answers where the Parliament of the people can take over and grill the ministers here. So
yeah, I think today panel discussion will start with Suresh Reddy first, then we'll have Madhu Yaskhi, and then Ramachander. Each of them will speak for 10 minutes or 12 minutes to cover about their opening remarks for what they want to say. Then Mohan will sum up and we'll have a Q&A. So we'll start with Suresh, please.
we will give them a closing tip also 5 minutes.
Yeah. Thanks, Mohan, for the wonderful introduction you made about me. While Som introducing me, he said he saw very little of me in the class, and that's a fact because I used to spend most of my time outside class sitting under trees. Of course, a lot of friends and professors used to call us outstanding student. So that's the title I earned there. And then as Mohan rightly said, I mean, if the groom could bear any insult to capture and get a wonderful bride, and then the lure of power makes politicians jump from party to party. So that's what we are witnessing today. Well, I'm going to speak about my party, the TRS, which subsequently became the BRS. And we actually planned a very good narrative for this forthcoming general election. Because if you see what's been happening since the notification came, the narrative of both the national parties, which we feel are not in response to the people's need, are not responsible enough to really foster a wonderful democratic debate. So we felt that while one national party is speaking a lot on religion, the other national party is speaking a lot on caste. That, if you notice, has become the center stage of today's politics. The BRS party, earlier during the state elections, even now, we are talking of something different, a totally different narrative for the country. And the narrative is that 75 years have passed, a lot more has to be done. What has to be done? Is India not rich in its resources? Then we spelled out and showed to the countrymen that yes, we have enough resources. If you are 42% of our people thrive on agriculture, we still hear complaints of no power, no water, while India has abundant water. India has got the most arable land in the world. 42% of our countrymen thrive on this as an occupation, but still they suffer. Why? Because the resources given have not been utilized. Now, when I say 70,000 TMC of water every year goes into the sea, there is enough of power, but there is no transmission. So the planning commission, the people at the helm of affairs need to dwell and look and make this a debate. Now, where do you debate this? You debate it in the parliament, you debate it in the state legislatures. But unfortunately, that's not happening. We have seen, apart from a decline in progressive politics, we have also seen a decline in parliamentary functioning. This is the area of concern which my party and my leader has been raising. Of course, we lost the election recently, so our voice has become a little feeble, but still we are determined that our time will come where our narrative will become the national agenda. Now, yes, as Mohan rightly pointed out on the defections, now this has been again a major concern. A political party which is over 100 years old, a political party which claims to be so powerful, how come they lack candidates? Why do you need to poach? Why do you need to poach on a party which suffered a defect? You are picking up people there and then trying to put them as your candidates and bypassing the anti-defection law, which has been quite clear. But somehow we see these happenings today. As far as the campaign for Telangana goes, we started our party with the sole purpose of creating the statehood. Why was our struggle for statehood taken up? If you notice, the British, when they ruled our country for many years, they left India very unequal in development. Only certain areas progressed as per their need, but large tracts of our land, many states were neglected because the British probably felt there was nothing there for them to pick up. So it didn't make a difference whether people in those areas, living in those areas, were progressing or not. And then subsequently, after independence also, it was a political power, it was a political dominance which kind of dominated again development. So that again created. So as Nehru rightly said, unity in diversity, which is the core of our country's unity. Unity in diversity will foster only if there is a equitable and reasonable development all across. So BRS party, TRS then took up this challenge because we felt let down in 1969 when an agitation peaked with so many people died. The ruling dispensation somehow couldn't understand the emotions, the seriousness, and let the subject linger, the matter linger till 2014. So these are the reasons why regional parties keep coming up across the country. Because when the aspirations of the regions are not met, either there is some kind of a very, very undemocratic insurgency type of movements come up, extremism, terrorism makes way for such acts, or if the government is sensitive enough, then if you take care of the needs, then it can be done. Now my challenge to both the parties, my question to both the national parties is, now one party talks about, say, caste. Whatever is the population of your caste, we're going to ensure that so much of wealth or whatever development is given to you. And the other party talks about religion. What we did We answered both, but in a democratic and in a very developmental way. How did we do that? When we talk of castes, Telangana consists of a lot of weaker sections. The OBCs, the BCs, the SCs, the STs, they are economically backward. And in OBC also you have fragmented. Like they are all, you have the shepherd community, you have the tapping community, you have the barber community. They are all splinter small groups which were neglected. You have the fisherman community. What we did was we empowered them financially. We created a working condition for them. If the shepherds didn't have sheep, the government provided them, helped them, so that way their wealth kind of grew. If the tappers didn't have trees, we assigned lands to them, encouraged them. If the barbers didn't have a proper place, we created saloons, gave them subsidy. So we just didn't give freebies, literally. We kind of empowered them. So what is the outcome of that? The outcome of that is the state in 2014, the region Telangana, which was at its lowest in terms of GDP and growth in the nation, in the next 9 years comes up and becomes the #1 state in the country in terms of GDP. We are contributing heavily in the GDP. We are contributing a wonderful human resource. You go to USA, you go to Australia, you go to Dubai, you go to any part of the world, you see very, very good professionals working in these countries, most of them coming from Telangana. So we created this asset. And along with this, the main gap which India is divided. There is a huge rural-urban divide. Now this rural-urban divide is one big area of concern. If you see the people in the village, as Mohan rightly pointed out, in some villages across the nation, they don't have access to anything. But the highways are super highways. You can zip in your big cars at 120, 130. You step out of the highway, you won't be able to walk. That probably reflected very well if you notice in the first phase of election, which happened recently. And if you see the Hindu, the newspaper's front page, it showed a donkey carrying ballot boxes and going to a polling booth in a reasonably developed state like Tamil Nadu. You will never get to see that in Telangana. Telangana bridged that gap. We have created beautiful infrastructure in the rural areas, especially the villages. Today, Telangana villages are a case study for the rest of the country and a happy getaway for most of the urbanites. You go to any village, it's got beautiful infrastructure in terms of roads, wonderful graveyards, which are not even available here, beautiful parks. Normally you see young kids getting married, they come to Ramoji studio to get their film shots filmed, to send it as invitation. Now you don't see them coming, they are all doing it in their respective villages. So this experiment has really helped. And like I said earlier, Telangana's strength is agriculture. Telangana suffered famine, Telangana suffered migration. Now from a famine, migration suffering state, we have turned it around today as the #1 paddy growing state in the country. We were growing 63 lakh metric tons of paddy in 2014, which has come to 2 crores 70 lakh metric tons of paddy in 2024. A phenomenal rise. How did it happen? Like I said earlier, there is water available, there is power available. So we kind of utilize the resources. We repaired the village tanks which were built during Kakatiya's and Nizam time, left abandoned. The entire village system got drained out, people started migrating. So we cleaned the tanks, we rebuilt the tanks, created employment, gave the produce. When the farmer produces his rice, paddy, the state government just picks it up. In the next 3 days, the money goes into his account. And from there, it is the headache of the state government to give it to FCI and get the payments. So this is how. And then finally, what really concerns us today in this election is when we as a state of Telangana, I have one more minute. So we have as a state are contributing so much to the GDP, and we are ensuring that whatever guidelines being issued by Government of India, like population control and all that, are well maintained. Now we are going to be punished. Tomorrow in 2026, when delimitation comes into play, Telangana, because of its good population control, would lose out on number of seats. We are contributing a lot more to the national GDP, but we are not getting much in return. So that is why in this election, as a regional party, keeping a national perspective, we are playing a very strong role in spite of the fact that we lost just 3 months back with a margin of 1.8%. That was the difference between the winner and loser. But the traction what we are getting from people is totally different. We are just talking about development. We are not talking about caste. We are not talking about religion, because the constitution limits these activities. But you are trying to overexploit and try to polarize people, which is not good in the larger interest of the nation. Thank you.
Thanks, Suresh, for forcefully putting across the fact that Telangana has developed during these 10 years. And even I have in recent past traveled some areas in rural Telangana. I feel a change. But as you rightly said, I think the 1.8% swing perhaps has got you in the opposition. Then you have not articulated perhaps that you have done all this. So it's a nice argument that you made. I request Madhu to present his.
My sincere apologies for coming late. I had a press meet with Honorable CM. At the outset, I would like to thank Mr. Mohan Guruswamy for having this debate where people have forgotten debate in the past 10 years. What is democracy stands for? Discuss, debate, and you reminds us one of the greatest parliamentarian, my guru, Rashtra. His younger brother is here, but you are more reflecting what Mr. Jayapal Reddy stands for. He is to insist on debate, whether it is in the public forum or in parliament. So past 10 years you are losing that. You don't see any debates. In the 10 years, the Honorable Prime Minister never addressed a single press meet, never took any questions from any media people, nor a debate in the public forum. He only man ki baat karta hai, but desh ki general man, he doesn't listen to the citizens, but only gives his man ki baat. So thank you very much for inviting us. Suresh, you are both in the classmates in Nizam College and representatives in Nizamabad district. Ramachander, yes, we know him from Usmania University days. Though I represented more of social left groups, sympathetic to them, practicing with Kanabiran. But Ram was with ABP, but we never lost that touch of friendship. Though we may differ on our party ideology or in student politics also, but we always maintained friendship for the past 30 or more years. So that is what politics should be. But today, we've lost that quality, the culture, the values in every profession has gone down, and more so in politics. As I said, it feels sad to see every day either which party, my party, other party, abusing each other, rather than discussing and debating on the issues concerned to the people of this nation. I'll start with Telangana, and my friend, former speaker, has put one challenging question to me and Ramachander. We all fought for separate state of Telangana. Telangana has developed because Telangana has been carved out and made, since Mohan we understand very well because economics. We insisted that Hyderabad revenue, which used to contribute 56% to the combined state of Andhra Pradesh, Jayapal Reddy and all other MPs from Telangana, we said it, that revenue of Hyderabad should not be divided. Though we given capital city for Hyderabad for Andhra state for 10 years, but even Venkaiah Naidu agreed upon that if state Hyderabad revenue divided between the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Telangana will not survive. So whatever the development activities which Suresh listed out, that's because a separate state has been created. That's what I used to believe and argue. Smaller states are better for development. I argued అన్నదమ్ముల్లాగా విడిపోయి ప్రాంతం వారికి కలిసి ఉండాలని చెప్పి. సో ఇట్స్ we never abused people from Andhra Pradesh. We never accused as a Congress member of Parliament or Telanganite the contribution of the people from Andhra and other states for the state of combined state of Andhra Pradesh. Development is a continuity activity. People come and invested. When I met Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State in Washington DC, she said she knows India by knowing Silicon Valley of India is Bangalore. When I introduced myself, I said I come from a city called Hyderabad. It's known as high-tech city, and that's how we used to say. People invested in Hyderabad because it's a Hyderabad, the place, living conditions, cost of living, good education facilities, health facilities. It's not because of their combined state or now because of Telangana. So this was my argument, and we argued this when Bombay, Gujarat separated. So Telangana could able to have funds become richer state because Congress party, UPA government has created separate state of Telangana and promised central government support 5 years a special state status to the Andhra Pradesh, and IIMs, IITs, new capital city must and should support it from the funds from central government, which Shri Narendra Modi ji has said not 5 years is not enough, 10 years should be given. What they've done after coming to power, they completely failed on it. They could not deliver it. See, Andhra was suffered whatever because of the failure of governance from the central BJP government, not because of state division. So Telangana, after division, what Mr. Kalvakuntla Chandrasekhar Rao, Kalvakuntla, I name it in different term, Kalvakunda. I'll tell you why. Telugu అర్థమయ్యేలా చెప్తా. కల్వకుండా ఎందుకు చేసినంటే ఐ గ్రో అప్ ఇన్ ఏ విలేజ్ ఆయత్నగర్. గొల్ల వాళ్ళు ఉండేది, కుటుంబాలు ఉండేది. తెలంగాణ రాకముందు నాకు గొల్ల కుర్మ సపరేట్ అని తెలియదు. అంత గొల్లోలు అనుకుంది యాదవ్ అని. వాట్ కేసీఆర్ రెడ్డి ఈజ్ గొల్లోళ్ళు సపరేట్ చేసినాడు, కుర్మలను సపరేట్ చేసినాడు. మాలమాదికి పంచాయతీ పెట్టాడు, గోండ్లకు నాయకులకి పంచాయతీ పెట్టాడు. సో ఈ సపరేటెడ్ ఇట్. What he has done, what Suresh is, economic empowerment. Boss, we are 4 brothers. I could able to succeed, look after whole family because I educated more. The people from weaker section wants an education, not Gorlu Barsi, Barlugas, Koni, eat a third set and Goraka. People from Usmania University fought because in combined state they were losing jobs. There's no better education facility. So we, Congress government, 10 years, Rashtra Reddy, Rashtra and Kiran, we created 8 new universities. Telangana University is one of it. What TRS government has done? Nothing. They have not started single new university. Usmania is almost in the closure. They have not given funds except for salaries and introduced self-finance courses. Worse than in the combined state of state. People of Telangana are suffering. The people from SC, ST, BC minority or weaker sections among the forward community, EBC quotas created during Rashtra Reddy government, Congress government. And this support base for Brahmin or other communities in forward community who are economically weak, a support base was there. So what Congress government and or Congress party, Rahul Gandhi started saying, 5 Nyay 100 guarantee. The 90% of the people in the country, the revenue which is you are contributing GST, road tax, inflation, other tax contribution, but the wealth, only under 21 people of this country controlling the 70% of the wealth. 60 lakh crores of properties were sold, given to the private entrepreneurs for 6 lakhs crores by Modi government. Whose property is that? PSU started during Nehruji's. SRSP, which Suresh Reddy said, felicitated Nehruji's statue there. It is still functioning. Nagarjuna Sagar to Bakranangal. What about Kaleshwaram project? We spent over 1 lakh crores. During Congress regime, B.R. Ambedkar Pranita Chevella project were conceived for spending 35,000 crores to 40,000 crores. for 10 lakh acres to irrigate. What you have done? You have not increased 10 lakh acres of new irrigation, but you spent over 1 lakh crores. Now you've seen what happening in Medigada. It's crumbling. Please read yesterday's and today's paper. See, Vedri Srirama is writing in a great article. Vedri Srirama, and many people have written on that. Please read it. So it's public. Government can only be custodian of the public property. It's not your personal private property. You sold Hyderabad is the richest city in the world because of Nizam. Nawab ek beta hai. So the Nizam left thousands of acres land for the government. So any government is holding that land to create. Have they built one single hospital? Usmania Gandhi used to be super specialty hospital for entire state of Andhra Pradesh, including Nanded and Maharashtra borders. Under BRS rule, no single hospital has been built. Now he wanted to demolish Usmania Hospital and give it for privately. So what I'm trying to say, the basic infrastructure, schools, 4,300 schools were shut under TRS government. So what you have created wealth, you have not created wealth. You wanted to make this poorer section to be poor, beggars, not to be educated. That's a fraud. That's completely fraud played on the people of Telangana. Mr. KCR used to call me and many MPs, Sonia Gandhi Emantundi, Telangana Istada, Leda. So you exploited the aspirations of people of Telangana and you made wealth thousands of crores. So the people of Telangana become poorer. When people talk about Srikantachari, his mother came 2 days ago to my place asking for not financial help. She's not been helped by the government then, neither given any post. And we all talk about people who fought for Telangana, Srikantachari as martyred. But what benefit? And she's a very good example. She's been called with the 2 escorts police for which they created for martyrs here at Secretariat. Right at the stage, after the function is over, car was taken away, the police guards were taken away. Then the government then left her to go home by herself. She was crying at the stage. You can imagine what people were rulers last 10 years, and they deserve to be dusted and defeated. People says that 1.8% only difference. But alternative, my friend's party BJP was also there. It is Rebuttal and Congress party consistent fight and made an alternative to the people of Telangana to elect and choose an alternative government under Congress rule. The guarantees felt by the Sonia Gandhi and the Rebuttal Reddy's leadership brought Congress party into power in Telangana. And in the past 4 months, what we are doing, you are seeing it. So the caste reservation is required because the people of this country, when constitutions carved out, not only here in this country in India, even in a developed country like America, Equal Opportunity Commission is there. Indian women get a special status in America for all central government federal projects. It's a developed country. Even Indian doctors want to get a green card, they should go to remote areas to practice so that they can get a green card faster than others. So, in other words, developed countries give an helping hand to the weaker sections or underdeveloped areas. So what's wrong between 90% of the population living under poverty, the poor has become more poorer, the rich has become more richer, the government responsibility to lift them from the below poverty level. So which is not happening. You see COVID time. Crores of people were walking on the road. I lost 6 my family members during COVID. And now latest studies showing that Covishield causing many people sudden cardiac arrest, 30-40 old people dying because of cardiac arrest. 2 minutes. So the quick thing is, that is one about the Telangana. The BJP under Modi government there's no democracy. Complete aristocratic rule. And now it's astonishing a person, Prime Minister of this country, speaking lies. Their manifesto, 73 pages, 43 pages only Modi's pictures. Nothing about development or economics. Congress manifesto never said it, nowhere said it. that the manifesto benefits given to only Muslims. And on a debate on national channel, the spokesperson of the BJP saying that it's written in the manifesto. Rajdeep Sardesh was asking, show me where it is written. So this is a blatant lies. So why I appreciate Mohanji and Som having a debate. I know Somashekhar as my senior is a debater. He used to know to be he gotten many awards from Usmania University for debating. That's not there now. It's no debate. You only have to listen what the government says, and there's no opportunities, equal opportunities. And central government not created is they cheated Telangana in the last 10 years. No IITs, no IIMs, no special aims, nothing came to Telangana. The Telangana contribution economically was Suresh Reddy said it. I'm only hoping Garbhapasi of Suresh Reddy is sooner than later Congress party. He's a good friend. He's a great speaker. He has made himself a name across the country as a speaker of Combined State of Assembly. But he's in the wrong party, right person in the wrong party. So that's not the party for him. He's in Rajya Sabha, but he's never allowed to speak. That's the sad part of it. So as a parliamentarian, we are allowed to speak and debate in the parliament. That's not happening. And in the last 2023, Assembly ran out for 23 days. This is sad. So I'm glad that you kept this culture of debating. You're inviting 3 political parties, Mohan, and you are our guru. And I read articles and learn a lot. We can come and meet you. And today is a time, the elections are there on May 13th. It's many distinguished people here. Thank you very much for listening to me. It's a time for a change. You made a change in Telangana. It's a time for change at country, at national level. Desha Marutundi, Congress Gorkutundi, and we appeal that the change needed now. And hopefully every 10 years government is changing, and the national party BJP, why we keep saying, and the manifesto doesn't talk about it, and is only giving the wealth to the few business communities. We are not, Congress is not against the entrepreneurship, not against the industrialists, but it should not rest into few people's hands, where 30% of the ports under Adani is single industrial house, which is not good for the nation. What is good for, and there's no 2 crore jobs coming up. There's 30 lakh crore jobs being vacant. From in last 10 years, 55 lakh crores for the debt. It gone up to 187 lakh crores in the last 10 years. You and me, everyone has a debt, 1,57,000 on every HCR. So fine. Now the culture is changed. Debt is, we live on credit cards, but where that money is going? The government is collecting and giving it to the few industrial houses who support indirectly on electoral bonds. Look at Sharad Pawar, Ajit Pawar, to people who corrupt, who looted when they joined the BJP, earlier BRS, when Sab Ganga Jal jaisa ho jata hai, Sara paap dhul ho jata hai. So thank you friends for listening to me, and I took little time.
Putting things in a frank and blunt manner, your own version of what Telangana development means, what concentration of wealth, concentration of development in Hyderabad means, and a larger picture of perhaps what you perceive as a authoritarian rule that has descended on us, and your critique of the Prime Minister not meeting the media. All of us are still not happy and debating, but he has his own style, and how that style, how that rule, and how that development model has helped India and would help Telangana. Perhaps would like to listen to Ramachandra's view on his party and what he thinks.
Thank you, Mr. Guruswamy, for giving me this opportunity. Both Madhu Yaskhi and Suresh Reddy are good friends. Of course, Suresh Reddy is my neighbor also in Delhi. And we had been long. I was in Rebuttal Degree College then, and they were in Nizam College. But as a student leader, I used to visit their college also to campaign for my party then. The friends let me open my talk. The small incident which I narrated in the council when I was MLC. And Mr. Suresh Reddy has spoken about them. It is not freebies and all. It is a little bit connected to that. A small narration. In a lighter vein, I said, a young boy in a village was sleeping under a toddy tree. His friend came from Hyderabad to meet him. Then he asked the boy's mother, "Sir, where is my friend? Your friend has become a drunkard. He is sitting under the toddy tree." Then he went there. What boss, you are bloody gone so much, you should not realize what is the responsibility. You have a sister to be married. Then he said, "My sister, Kalyan Lakshmi is there, that will get married, no problem," he said. No, boss, you have old parents. But they are getting old age pension, nothing to worry, he said. Nothing, one of his sisters is also handicapped. That is a handicap, 5,000 rupees you get, no worry, she said. You have to get it, some job you have to try, boss. Then he said, no, government is going to give us 3,000 rupees for unemployment loan, so I am happy with it. Then his friend starts running. Then this guy asked, where are you going? He said, I am going to city, I will resign and I will join with you. Sir, we want a society which works. We want a country which works, we want a state which works. We want a youth which works, not dependent on government. That's it. And this working culture is today we see in our country. Friends, I not to take the first on my criticism, I not try to first counter it, but I will try what has happened over the past 10 years with positive way. See, the poor of this country have never stepped on the steps of the bank. They never had any bank account. And today, under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, every poor man of this country, nearly 80 crores of the new accounts belonging to poor people, today they have bank accounts in there. And every benefit of the government, be it the 500 rupees given during the COVID, or be it any scheme, government schemes, they are directly getting into their account, not even a single brokerage. When Rajiv Gandhi used to say that I am sending 100 paisa, 15 paisa is only to reach to the beneficiary. But today, if 100 rupees is being sent, 100 rupees is being sent to the beneficiary, that is the first, the first achievement of the Modi's government. Poor has got their bank accounts, poor are getting their money there. So therefore, this is what the transformation. Because banks has made every common man to, have some schemes for them. There are certain schemes where you pay only 12 rupees per month and you meet with an accident. And then you are getting 2 lakhs rupees. And there is another scheme which you pay 350 rupees. You are getting 4 lakhs rupees. The 12 rupees per year is not even a cost of 1 tea per day. And you are getting 2 lakhs rupees, covered 2 lakhs rupees. So therefore, the social security problem, the issues which Modi government has taken up, these are the things which the Modi government has first identified the necessity and the need of the people, and he has made this particular change. The second, friends, let us compare the last 55 years of the Congress rule and this 10 years of the Congress rule. Earlier, we used to have only 11 kilometers of road per day. Today, we are having 30 kilometers of national highways per day. And that is not only our national highways, but border road organizations, or anywhere you go to any part of the country, now you are seeing national highways, broad highways, the express highways, 4-liners, 8-liners. And it is reality, it is written before us, it is not like a graphic things which was seen during the other government's rule, when we used to see all graphics. There is no graphical development. These are real development which country is still seeing it. This is the second chapter. Then earlier when Congress government left the office, the foreign exchange was almost nil. But after Modi's came, today our foreign exchange is over $800 billion. And we have that foreign exchange with us today. When the government of the Congress government was there was no foreign exchange left for the India government. And it is the India government which has increased the foreign exchange. And not only that, when Congress government left the office, the country had only 75 airports. Today we have got 150 airports in the country within the last 10 years. This is a development which we are seeing. We are seeing it before our eyes. Made in India, make in India. Earlier we used to import mobiles. Today India is manufacturing mobiles. In Hyderabad, there are 19 number of mobile companies. They are making the spare parts, assembling units, manufacturing of the mobile phone. So this therefore development which you have seen. This is not an ordinary development which when you compare the world, maybe Covaxin or there is some other vaccine. Today some things must have been taking place or some advancement, whatever science has come up with telling that no, there are some diseases coming out of this. There are not such important for us now because during the COVID period, every citizen of this country, 140 population, 140 crores, everyone got free of cost 2 vaccine and a booster vaccine. And that is a great achievement by the Modi's government. When the world was struggling, they were still on the way to find out what vaccine is good for us, whether vaccine should be given or not. But we have come out and then we have saved the people's life. World was suffering economically. There was economic recession in the entire world. But India could face it. And today, we are the 5th largest economy, 5th largest growing economy in the world. And that is what today Modi has done for this country. Not only that, there were so many contentious issues which we have seen. Ideologically, may not agree with us. But still, that problem was solved. Today, if you go to Jammu and Kashmir, the youth of Jammu and Kashmir, they don't throw stones now. They are trying for the work. They are now going to IITs, they are going to IIMs. There is now the change in the Kashmir youth. What you have seen in the Kashmir. People are not agree that 370 is necessary or not. I'm not going on that. But that today, Kashmir is feeling inclusive. They feel that they are part of this country. The reservation system is being adopted there. They are getting jobs. So therefore, the part which this country had, which was isolated because of Article 370, today it is on mainstream and people are enjoying the benefits which the government of India is giving to other states. And not only that, friends, it is Ram Janmabhoomi is there. I don't want to go on the religious side, but this problem had come, we all know, when Shabana's case verdict was given by Supreme Court. Because there was a backlash, the Congress government then in UP and at the center opened the doors of Ramalala. And that caused the entire problem. And there was burning. But today, with the thanks to the Supreme Court, because of their verdict, the amicable settlement is there. And without not even a single incidence of a communal incident, today Ramalala temple is constructed. Everyone is happy with it. Not even a single instance of communal incident in the entire nation. And that contentious issue, which people thought, which will be dividing this country for years and years, that was solved so smoothly. Of course, with the help of all the citizens of this country, even Muslims, other religions also, they cooperated with it. Friends, if I go on telling all these things, friends, there are so many areas, so many issues where they were all contentious issues. The Congress party, for the past 55 years, could not even touch it. Today, we have solved those issues, friends. When Supreme Court, when the Sabha case came up, Supreme Court said that there should be, because the Constitution says that uniform civil code is required. Then the government of India said, yes, Muslim women are being discriminated. Muslim women are not, they are being suppressed because of the practice of talaq. And then the triple talaq, making it a penal offence, was introduced in the parliament. And it was passed, now it is an act. Therefore, friends, those areas where the other governments, because of the appeasement politics, because of the vote bank politics, could not even touch it. Today, they all have been taken up in the parliament, in a parliamentary procedure, debated on it, and then they become an act. Today, there are people in the other parts of the world where we can see in Europe, US, or some places where today Indians feel proud, they feel secure. The other day, Mr. Jaishankar was here. Now, one important question, friends, when you go and see, because the central government has some areas where the state government doesn't have their say, that is external affairs. Today, in external affairs, if you see, the people who are stranded in other countries because of the internal crisis there, they all have been brought to country safely. That is one of the major achievements. One. Number two, in Qatar, when 13 or 20 Navy persons were sentenced to death because of the espionage, the spying case, they are all being released by the Qatar government because of diplomacy which Modi government had taken them. So these are certain areas where one has to also see. But as far as the introduction remarks by Mr. Guruswamy that we are lagging behind, we are our country is per capita income, all these things are lesser than other places and all. But friends, we have to see that how today the ease of living is there in this country. There is a development because of the highways. Today we are seeing Vande Bharat expresses. Earlier we used to have only the trains which are very traditional, not even advanced. Now we have a number of Vande Bharats, we have bullet trains. These are all matter of scientific development which we are making space with every part of the world. Today we are competing with the world. So therefore our space of development, our space of moving towards development is equivalent to that of America. Last, Mr. Nitin Gadkari's office, if you go, you will see there, American roads are good, not because America is rich. Americans' roads are good not because America is rich. America is rich because America's roads are good. Because that is our infrastructure which has to take it. So Modi's government is emphasizing on infrastructure. It is wrong to say that we have not started universities. We have started new IIMs. We have started new IITs. We have started new NITs. We have started these premier education institutions. And within 10 years, more than a dozen of such institutions have come up in this country, enabling the people, the students of this country to have a good education. So therefore, every field has development. You may have a lot of criticism on us on an ideological basis or policy basis, but today India has developed under Modi's government, and I feel that this time again people will realize that Modi is necessary for this country. Modi guarantee is necessary for this country, and therefore I feel that Modi has to be voted again, and he should be given third time. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ramachander. I think you have exhibited the same enthusiasm and fighting spirit to present your own case, argue very well right from your college days. And I should tell you, Ramachander is one of the very successful lawyers also in the city. So I think he has argued his case well. So clap to all the speakers. I request Mohan to sum up and then we'll take questions from the audience.
I first went to Parliament as a visitor with Jayapal in 1984 when he became a member of Parliament for the first time. And we used to hear those days such debates, Chandrasekhar, Vajpayee, big speakers would speak, and for a moment, for a moment I thought, I was back in that kind of a parliament. Three good quality discussions. And Suresh started off with the story of Telangana and what the BRS government did. In 84, I read a study on poverty in India and the reasons. And when I was studying Bihar, we put a benchmark comparison for Bihar and Telangana. And Telangana was actually poorer than Bihar. The 9 districts of Telangana were poorer in all indices than Bihar. And what you see in Telangana in the last 10 years is a remarkable transformation. You must give that credit to the state. It happened. Whether the government gets the credit for it or no, in our system, we can never say. but maybe the views has got ahead. But like Suresh said, 2% gap makes a big difference. And 10 years is a long time for any government. And change of innings is required for democracy. Anybody who lasts longer than 10 years takes things for granted. As far as roads are concerned, Prime Minister Vajpayee started the road scheme 1998. I remember that meeting he called 4 of us in government and said, कुछ बड़ा करना चाहिए. No, Kanduri was not called for the meeting. The 4 secretaries. And Vajpayee said, बड़ा करना चाहिए. So we were all looking to see what is he going to say. He said, सड़क बनना चाहिए. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Somnath to Silchar. And he said this would be a big infrastructure project to push the economy. The economy was in a bit of a recession there. And it started then, and road building has been a continuous activity since. It's not that, it started in 2014, 2004, 2014, so that, before that it was happening. So, there are some things in government which are then continuing. Credit has to be given to government as an institution for having done it. So, roads. And then, of course, there is much talk of, how Mr. Gadkari calculates distances.
Right one for.
But Mr. Gadkari is a very clever man. But I think the issue which is going to come up, which your government will have to face, is that the people who collected the toll, the company which had the toll, I'm telling you tomorrow's news today, 5,000 crores have disappeared and the fellow has disappeared. The toll collector. Delhi government is looking for his high. So all these things also happened, but there has been change in the country, there has been growth. The foreign exchange reserves were 600 crores, 600 billion, now it's about 750 billion. But too much foreign exchange reserves means that you have no use for money. There's also a bad thing. I was in the finance ministry, I know that you need money to cover 3 months exports. That's the IMF standard. And I think 300 billion, 250 billion is good enough. That means the rest of the money is sitting there, earning, we don't even get 1% interest. And American banks are lending it out at 4-5%. They are making the money. It's our money, they make the money. So reserves sitting idle is not necessarily good. I think as far as Madhu is concerned, we have to see what the next 10 years holds for his government. We've experienced their governments for 70 years, 65 years, and a lot of our problems today emanate from the conversions within the Congress party, constant jockeying. I thought we would discuss the collapse of inner party democracy in the country. The collapse in all parties. The irony is that the only party in which there is an inner party discussion today is the CPI. And they are committed to the dictatorship of proletariat. BJP doesn't mean anymore, National Executive doesn't mean, they don't have debates, Congress doesn't mean, of course, KCR's party, they don't mean. So this is a danger to our system of life, which is why our democracy is collapsing. And we are in the danger of people not being heard in government. So I think people have made a great beginning today. Wonderful. I think, I hope this method will continue and of discussion and debate, and you will take it to your own parties to make this discussion. Thank you very much for this. If you all would like the right to reply for a few minutes each, I'd be very happy. We've got time. And Suresh, since you started first, maybe 3 minutes.
Okay, what you say?
No, generally, anything more. Not Venus or Venus.
And people's reflection comes through political parties, and unless political parties meet regularly, have an internal discussion, what we call it in the form of either plenary sessions or executive meetings, where the inner party democracy also strengthens and various aspirations of the people coming from various regions are discussed. Unfortunately, that is lacking. As far as my party is concerned, I remember just 8 months back we had a plenary, and whatever I spoke, most of this is what I stated even at the plenary, because these are the aspirations. So when we talk of empowerment, my party stand doesn't mean that if I am a shepherd, I should only be given a sheep. If I am a shepherd, the shepherding activity should prosper into such a way that a shepherd's son also can study and become an IT engineer in America. And my son, if I am not strong enough to support him, should also be able to get a few sheep and start a career. Now this is what has happened in Telangana, because every activity has started prospering. Doesn't mean, if you talk about fishery, it's not just saying, it has become a very lucrative line. So this way, the freebies are not really freebies. This is a real financial empowerment which we have done for Telangana, which we thought we would emulate it, take it up and scale it up to the national level, but in democracy, we respect it. We lost the election. And of course, complacency does creep in. Probably a lot of our MLAs also became complacent, and they were taught a lesson on that. So, thanks for that.
I would like to reply on the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan, the bank accounts. 74% of those accounts are zero balance. Government has collected some, when they open account, few deposits were there. Nearly 34,000 crores being deposited. Those people didn't get any help from them. Secondly, I would like to point here, we read Nehruji used to write the pen name on criticizing his own decisions when he was Prime Minister. And I would like to give another story. We all agree that democracy should flourish. A strong and healthy democracy needs a strong opposition. In 2012, when Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji being detected cancer, she was taken for US for treatment. So one of the BJP MP, Nishikant Dubey, came to me and asking, inquiring about her health. So I said, since I came from US, I was in US practicing, and I said, how come you are showing so much concern? You guys may be happy because that UPA government, she is most supreme leader. He said, every Tuesday BJP had a parliamentary party meeting. In the parliamentary party meeting, Advani ji has said it, we wish Srimati Sonia Gandhi speedy recovery. In 2009, Advani ji had a Pradiyatra, and then they couldn't come to power, UPA came to power, and there was a discussion, there was a conflict between Advani ji and late Jetli ji and Sushma Swaraj ji, who could become leader of opposition. So there was a rumor that BJP may split, there were so much fin fighting. So Srimati Sonia Gandhi called Sri Advani ji and requested him to please resolve infighting soon. Country needs a strong opposition. This is stated by Sri Advani ji in the parliamentary board meeting, and that is told by a BJP MP who is highly critical of Sonia Gandhi and the Gandhi family, Mr. Nishikant. So that is the culture should be there and practiced. And you see during Manmohan Singh's time, many times Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh used to meet Advani ji and Sushma Swaraj ji. But now, and I don't think in the last 10 years, Mr. Modi has never met or once went to greet on birthdays Manmohan Singh ji or Vajpayee ji, but he never used to meet any opposition leaders. And other one thing is, I think that there's a long debate if you're questioning about FDIs and other things, but Ramachander state like AITM started, but nothing came to Telangana. That's my point I was trying to make it here. And yes, there is a lot of development in Telangana, particularly in the excise policy. From 10,000 crores it went to 48,000 crores. And that policy extended up to Delhi. Not enough the income which they generated en masse in Telangana. So no doubt the development was very huge. But when some other time we can debate more on that, what real development has taken place in Telangana. But I truly thankful to Mohan Guruswamy to have this debate. So now, I don't think this debate is taking place at political front. But once again, I would like to give another funny story. That Make in India brochure was printed in China. This was listed in Times of India story, not Congress Madhu Yaskhi story. This was listed, the brochure bought by the Times of India reporter in Vignan Bhavan when Narendra Modi ji launched this Make in India thing with that wheel, lion, whatever, and that brochure was printed in China. So a lot of things, Make in India things, all we know, and what happened in Corona time, how many crores people on the street. Every country gave financial help to them, but not here. One last word I would like to say and close it. My dear friend said, Modi ki guarantee, फिर से धोखा देने का वारंटी.
See, the Jan Dhan account itself is a zero account, and known as zero account. There was no amount kept by anyone there. If they are getting any benefit, they are going to get benefit in that account. Second, during Corona time, in food grains, even today, it has been extended. 5 kgs of rice, wheat, chana and all. Even today, the BPL people are getting it free. So therefore, during Corona, no one, and they got 1,500 rupees, 1,500 rupees each account. And this is a fact and everyone knows it. So during Corona, it's not that people were left to the fate. It was. They were taken care by the people. And as the people were moving, they did not move because of the hunger, because of the other thing, because they wanted to go to the native place. There was a rush to their native place. Because they thought that they would not meet their loved near and dear. So therefore the migration was there. And again reverse migration started. So therefore those things cannot be taken as a political issues to woo the voters. But I think what is important for the voter is that development is the main. I don't believe that as Suresh Reddy said, that communal language or other language. I as a party spokesperson, I always believe, and I never argue on the issues of religion at all. I still believe, because Modi ji once said, अगर आपस में मुसलमान और हिंदू को नहीं लड़ना चाहिए, दोनों को मिलकर गरीबी से लड़ना चाहिए. That was his idea, and that is what he thinks about. It is the political statement made by some people that you are communal. Not at all. We are against the vote bank politics. We are against the appeasement of the minorities. We feel that in one people, one nation, one law, this should be there. So therefore, these are certain things which I wanted to clarify. And I think this debate has been a successful debate to put our points of view to the viewers here and to the audience here. Thank you, Guruswamy, for the opportunity.
From you, please. Maybe we'll start from one.
Politics and now become national leaders. My question is, as I am a professor in a college and I can see that the political awareness of the youth today in the country is very low, and most of them are cut off from the discussions of national politics. Many of them don't even are aware that they are having a voting rights, and they don't even bother to check whether their name is there in the electoral rolls or not. And at a time when we are facing one of the highest unemployment crises in the country and the youth are really struggling to find jobs, why do you think the youth of the people of this country are so disengaged from the national issues?
As we were very much politically aware during our student days. Not only we, in fact, every student at that point of time, during 80s, 90s, students were politically conscious. And they had their own ideologies, but they used to respect each other. And they used to involve in all the national issues. They used to put posters, we used to discuss, debate and all. But as you said rightly, that now the youngsters and the youth of this state or country, they are getting disengaged or are disattached from all these things. They have become more self-centered. One reason is that the universities have now been weakened by introduction of the private universities, one. Then the introduction of the professional colleges like engineering. Everyone wants to go to engineering, medicine, and then no one comes to university where you have a social sciences there. And if the social sciences education becomes weak, you don't get proper social leadership. So everyone is now engaged in engineering, pharmacy, medicine, or any other thing, and ultimately you end up in a very closed, self-centered man, and he thinks only about his job, his family, other things, but there is no one to think about the country. It is very unfortunate for us. As you rightly said, because I also hail from university, my father was a professor, and we used to see the student movement then and now. Today, if you go to Osmania University, you will find only caste organizations, not identical organizations. And that is very sorrow state of the universities. Not only here, everywhere in the country. As you rightly said, definitely today someone was telling me that we are retired people, we want to lead, guide the youth, sir. How can we do it? I think this is the best way to tell them that this country is yours. You may have some your own views on this any subject, but this country is yours. If you don't think about this country, Swami Vivekananda said, I hold every educated man as a traitor as long as you forget about those people at whose cost you have been educated. And today, unfortunately, no one cares about the society. At the time of elections, even my elections I have seen and how the money was sent into their accounts for voting. Educated people were sent money, students were getting money for the voting. So this type of situation is very bad. And I think the student organizations have weakened in our society. They must become strong, whatever ideology they may be. And the people like you, the senior citizens, also should guide them with proper articles and other things. They should know what are the issues. Many people do not know what is Kashmir issue. Many people do not know what is Child Doklam issue. Many people do not know. Let them not have their ideas of only supporting one government or one party. But let them understand what is the problem. No one is caring about our society. Very important question which you asked, and I think because I myself was a student, I had been to jail 14 times struggling for the students' issues. And today I feel very sad when I go to universities. The situation is very difficult. Not on scam. I've been, that's what I said, fighting for the students. I've been beaten up by police. In fact, my friends still ask me how are your injuries on your back because it was reddish used to be there. So I think, sir, we don't have answer for your question, but it is a matter of concern that we can say. Thank you.
Can I just add one little, sir? It's a very good question. I think that should be inculcated when the student is, blossoming. That should happen when he is young, not in college, when in school. Earlier in schools, used to have scouts, guides, NCC, which were very, very prominently, they kind of nurtured the kids. And also used to have a lot of elocution, competition and all. So these kind of groomed the student. As and when grew and reached the college, so it was all fit enough to take up what you suggested. Thank
you. One. And two is the values in politics also gone down. The youth today not seeing any future in politics, or many politicians or businessmen will get into politics now. It become a good, profitable business getting into politics. So, I think they need to change. Society also take the responsibility, and last is unless the youth involved, there won't be any good change.
Yeah, can we come to you?
Very good evening, sir. My name is Chandrasekhar. Why is that there is no priority for Secunderabad? Most of the developmental activities we see only in southwest corner of the city. None of you all parties have ever come to Secunderabad. We still have 12 feet wide roads. We don't have SRTP. We don't have SNDP. We don't have metros. We don't have direct trains, buses to airport. We don't have ROBs or Bolaram. We don't have railway gate, rail over bridge. People are waiting for 20 times a day. Evening 7 to 9 o'clock, they are waiting at the railway gate. These are simple and very cost-effective measures to ease the traffic. When you say link roads are being done in southwest corner, why not a single link road being done in Secunderabad? You look at the entry roads of cantonment; they are not deliberately being not prepared. In term, n number of complaints being raised in cantonment board, Raksha Mantri, the entry gates are being not repaired. Yeah. Number two, and why is that? politicians see a bigger budgeted projects rather than seeing simple measures in easing the traffic?
Hyderabad definitely stands in isolation as far as few issues what you mentioned. As far as my party was concerned, we definitely looked into this, like you rightly pointed out, the bottleneck being the cantonment and its functioning. There were a lot of hurdles as far as my limited knowledge of the city goes. But having said that, yes, you have the grievances cell which is functioning, you have so many cells which are functioning. But if problems are still at large, then I accept the responsibility. I think it's a failure of the politicians.
But there should be a solution, sir, to this.
Yeah, the solution is the system. You see,
The system doesn't change. Today, the same system is something up, given an opportunity.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So I can't sit down while I speak. My name is Jacinta Devakarudi, and I'm a former IRS officer. I know you, Mr. Suresh, we are friends. Now, the thing is, it's awesome to listen to this debate and discussions. It enlightens us and makes us also angry and sad. At your level, developments are happening at a big stage, at a higher level, and we find airports, we find whatever. Everybody's very happy. We are comparing ourselves with America, so to say. Come down to reality, sir. No offense meant to any of you, I respect you all. You're my leader. However, coming down to the grassroots level, what am I eating every day? Pesticide-ridden food. Apollo gets candidates on an everyday basis, meaning any corporate hospital. Where is my water for drinking and for my bath that I have once in a week? Because my children can't afford to have a bath every day. Where is the basic infrastructure given to me? I belong to a basti in Secunderabad called Adaguda Basti. Now, I've taken a research. I'm doing a lot of social work. I've done research in every single pocket of this city, be it Ameerpet or anywhere. I'm from a poorest of the poor family. What is that the political party has done for me? Have you repaired my lifestyle from this to this? Am I given the basic amenities and the happy moments to say that today I had a good day? Sorry, sir. We don't believe in jargons. We don't believe in all these big dreams. Today you're the political head. Tomorrow you'll be the opposition head. What difference does it make to me and my busty friends? Please think about it. At a level, at a national level, at a state level. Yes, I'm sorry I took a lot of time.
You conclude so that they can answer better.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Now, I may not have the power that you have, but my voice will be heard someday, and I will not sleep. Thank you.
I think Defence Minister has cleared those cantonment areas problem. I think recently the new Chief Minister Rebuttal has, you must have seen the various flyovers, double train and
Skyways.
the skyways.
Elevated expressways, elevated roads.
Elevated roads. And two, I understand the water problem. I spoke to I'm his employees, honorary president for waterworks. They came to me, I spoke to the cantonment CEO. So there is a problem of this payment to a municipality for water thing.
But that affects us. Have you ever seen the garbage on our streets?
I was just completing. As I say, and third, it's time for a change. And the last 10 years we are not in the government. Who is MP, central government, member of parliament. Let me give you my 10 years of experience as member of parliament. Suresh can authenticate on that. As an MP, we fought for a medical college came to Nizamabad, Telangana University, the 4-lane highway completed from Hyderabad to Nirmal, while fighting for Telangana. Budpali Sagar projects, and ex-speaker was also knows that many irrigation projects. What I'm saying, while working passport office in Nizamabad, so while working, fighting, at the same time, I fulfilled my responsibility as member of parliament for bringing development for the district. The Telangana MP, whichever party, over his member of parliament, he is responsible for that, and he should, May 13th is the deciding, you should decide who could be dealing with your future. Time for
Does
a change.
it make a difference, sir?
can I just
Yes.
did that?
Thank you so much.
But the answer is not what I am doing or what he is doing. Like I rightly said, what is the system doing? Now to put it at
Who constitutes the system, sir?
who constitutes the system? The system emerges out of discussion, debate and need. And then a system is created. Now, what is the system which is created today to address such issues? At the national level, you call it, there is a commission, finance commission, which ensures that every village receives certain amount of fund, every municipality receives certain amount of fund. So this ensures that whether I'm a poor MP, lazy MP, or not a worthy MP, irrespective of my performance, the amount will be delivered to the district, to the village, or to the municipality. Now, this is what we call it how the system works. Now, once the system does its job, it is a delivery process which works there. So, the delivery process at Adaguta or wherever if there is something lacking, definitely there should be an awareness, and you have rightly raised your voice in this forum. Such awareness also creates a debate discussion and it gets focused there. But having said that, we rest assured that our country, in spite of whatever parties are ruling or whatever problems we have put into place a system which ensures certain needs will be addressed. What is required now is some big bang measures. If I send the money to your municipality and if it is not spent to where it has to be spent, the action taken on the local corporator, local MLA, local MP or a local officer like you, you're an IRS officer, that accountability is what is lacking now. So we need to bring in changes there. The changes will come in with debates like this, where your voice like yours is heard loud and clear, and then definitely it raises.
I hope so, sir.
Of course, yeah.
There should be a machinery in place.
Chandrasekhar said, in fact, Mr. Chandrasekhar and their team was fighting for the opening of the roads and other things. And I also represented that several times. But these are things, in the pipeline you get a lot of delay and all. And let's hope for the better days, because now the Defence Ministry has taken a decision to merge the cantonment areas with the. It's not been still implemented, but they are going to do it. That's what even Movie also telling about the same thing.
Today's paper was talking about it. Only request is have some priority for skill.
Exactly.
You are all been fighting since years.
I have more meetings here in Guruswamy Center.
Sir, what I hears spoke of the road, such a simple thing. From Shenoy Nursing Home, you move on to AOC Center. That entire road is full of potholes. So many people commute on two-wheelers, and that road is so bad. And this is a small patch from the Hyderabad Club Road towards AOC. For the last 6 months, it is like that. And I have been hoping, now elections are around the corner, and in my constituency, you have a Lok Sabha election and an assembly election. So now that, it is said that the ears of a leader must ring with the voice of the people.
Exactly.
We have top leaders from the three parties. Sir, can you do something? These small patches on this road towards the swimming pool on AOC, and that road which comes from the Hyderabad Club near the AOC.
Wellington Road in Allahabad.
Allahabad. Can we repair that? At least can you put the fine sand and cover it up? We don't even want a tar road.
At least tell us some way to
Yeah.
go.
So this is one thing.
I will ensure you that I'll take it. I'll note down. I will note down. I'll make sure. I'll give my number.
Sir, it's
You
a
can-
bit, yeah,
You can
please.
make me accountable. I will take it to Chief
Kindly,
Minister and
kindly.
make him to do this road. You can call me after June 4th.
So at least we
Only
go
one
on,
your
ensure.
word, sir.
sir, we go on four-wheelers, but imagine the two-wheelers.
Yeah, but
So many people.
the issue has been pointed out.
See, I tell you.
No, it's only a road.
In the April also it has happened same thing. When you know that April, that every day 2-3 two-wheelers used to get.
No, to your credit, Mr. Ramachander Rao, I must tell you, you have a gentleman who is the Vice President in Cantonment, Mr. Ramakrishna. He is a good friend of mine, and he has sent me a video of a debate within the precincts of the Cantonment Board office, where he has gone hammer and tongs at the CEO to get this done. But it's not happening. So someone has to take the horse to the
Here,
moon.
there is administrative confusion. What I say it is administrative confusion. The local authority, local government thinks that it is if they touch it, the military says that don't touch it, this is our area, you should not come. And when we ask the military authority, they say that we don't have budget for this. So therefore it has been kept pending for many long years.
1 minute,
And-
sir.
yeah.
1 minute, sir. Do you think if Mr. Rajnath Singh makes a telephone call, things will not happen?
This will not happen. It won't happen.
Okay, fine. It will not happen. The second thing which the senior man said here.
I think we don't monopolize.
Sir, this.
We have, sir, one second.
Okay.
Somebody from the back, please.
India is a very diverse country. I just want to understand what is the need of UCC Uniform Civil Code. And we are so diverse, unless and until it becomes a criminal issue, I can understand the Uniform Criminal Code. But when the country is so diverse, why do we need a Uniform Civil Code? It's only my basic question. I just want to understand this.
People who are asking for UCC, not others. So I definitely, even if you don't ask me, I have to answer it. See, that too simple. I don't want to go into academic side of it. As you said rightly, for criminal side, for everyone is okay. But Uniform Civil Code is not a demand by the BJP. It is emphasized in our constitution. That Uniform Civil Code has to be implemented. One. Number two, on number of occasions, the Supreme Court has said that why the government is delaying the implementation of Uniform Civil Code on several issues of women and children. Now, thirdly, the implementation of Uniform Civil Code will benefit the women and children first. There is no much in Uniform Civil Code because there is a right adoption. Some religions do not have the right of adoption. Why should they be denied with it? Uniform Civil Code will give you right to property. In some religion, women have no right to property. So therefore, such type of things are there, where for the equality of the women and children, as par with the people now living together. So, and why the religious groups should have a different property law when one community of women and children are enjoying certain rights? Why it should not be extended to other religions? These are basic, simple things which I am telling. So therefore, I think that we need UCC for equality, for the upliftment and empowering the women and also doing justice to the children. Thank you.
Ramachander Rao has spoken was very well. I wish his party speaks the same tone. That's not happening. When you talk about UCC, it means...
There's a wide gap.
Yeah, it means that the Muslims have certain privileges. They can marry 4 times. So why should that guy have 4 wives? Remove it. So then there's a polarization on the other side. Let me. So this is the fundamental perception amongst the people on UCC. But definitely it is not so, as he rightly pointed out. If it is in the constitution, it is only the directive principles. So directive principles is not mandated that it should be enforced immediately. The society since 1947 to today have evolved. See, every community has evolved. Now, population control, child, marriages, everything is being definitely on par with other. As we are progressing, as we are evolving, as we are developing, there is a uniformity as it is within us which is coming in. So, if you want to see any lacuna or whether there's any harassment being done to, for example, any woman, then it has to be done. Now, for your information, the UCC, say for example, Goa, the state has UCC. Now, what is the UCC in Goa? The Goa UCC says a Hindu can marry again if his wife doesn't sire him a boy, or if his wife is childless, he is entitled for marriage. That is only limited to Hindus. So, this was an eye-opener for me. So, there are a lot of such issues which are coming up. But having said that, I totally agree with Ramachander Rao Garu. If the debate goes on what he said, there in certain communities, some people are being affected, let us clear that. Then yes, it's a good thing. But if you say I'm going to bring in UCC or basing on a religious divide, then it is not good. It develops more of hatred than bringing things into normalcy. That's my view.
No, don't bother.
It's going to be a very It is surprising people have talked about drainages, roads and all that. Well, what concerns us is today Indian Prime Minister is conducting himself as a BJP Prime Minister, and he talks in terms of Yada Bacha Paida Karne Wala. It is totally condemnable by everyone irrespective of party levels. Thank you. The Rao Garu, I would like to.
I thought it was very
So I can't answer because I never heard him speaking, but I saw someone telling me on YouTube. See, I tell you, there are so many things get circulated in WhatsApp and social media and all.
No, I have heard the videos.
No, I tell you, nowadays the videos are getting morphed. Suresh, 1 minute. See, I tell you, we are not like this. That is, science and technology has made our life very pleasurable, but at the same time miserable also. So when we get to such wrong, I have not heard of him speaking this thing. Had I heard about it, definitely, maybe he was speaking about the family planning or something. I don't know, but I don't subscribe to anyone forcing anyone to have only this much children or don't have more children. India, everyone has a freedom for it. There are many Hindus who have a lot of people who have children. My father had 5 children, so there is nothing. Lalu Prasad.
I totally agree with you. That's not the states or prime minister should speak in that language. No, but let me quick add on one point here. If you are any developed country, need to give a helping hand to the underdeveloped within the country also. You have this NAFTA treatment between America, Canada, and Mexico. If America develop this, they should see that Mexico and Canada also develop. Otherwise, a lot of infiltration, crime will come up. Here, 16 crores of people belong to Muslim community. How can you say that they are not part of this country? You giving reservation not based on religion. Ramachander, we both are advocates. No, you give reservation. No, we give reservation based on work they do. Like Azam Kam or Dobi ka kaam karne wala Hindu gets reservation. Same Dobi ka kaam karne wala Muslim also get reservation under BC quota that E category we created. So now the BJP says that you are taken away reservations from SC, ST, BC and giving, which is not correct. So what we need to say, some studies shows that the Muslims in West Bengal and other countries much poorer than the SC, STs. So it is government responsibility. One way Modi ji says that he helped those Muslim community in Gujarat. Some of they come up and say that they've been benefited by programs. But when election comes, being a prime minister is a prime minister of the country, not prime minister of any political party. He shouldn't say that just to get the votes.
This is Telangana has dropped in their education ranking and the allocation of the budgets also has been reduced. After knowing the complete demographics of the Telangana, a party emerging and they have not addressed that, and moreover the initiatives what it has been taken, like when you say the emphasized on IT, like IT GDP growth is from 4.5% to 7.5% in 10-15 years. So emphasizing 90% on IT, they have deprived of other segments of the GDP growth, which has manufacturing, logistics, so many other things, and that has deprived of a lot of unemployment. So now at least the new government, can they do the demographic analysis? What exactly relevant to our people? Like Orissa, we have Skilled at Orissa, one initiative, the World Skills Center. If you go anywhere, you will find a lot of Orissa people doing various jobs in hotels and manufacturing and other things. So can we look into the demographics and emphasize our funds allocation, not more of media frenzy and where it gives a lot of media mileage. Thank you.
I agree with you. Education and health. That's where I hate that word corporate hospital, corporate schools. So in US, all those private hospitals are not for profit. They have billions revenue, but they don't make it for like Apollo Hospital, where they stock exchange because of to make profit. And education health, if you starting because of to make profit, then you're not doing any service. So we'll show this new government, and as I can assure you that our Congress government, Rebuttal will make ensure that that's one of my priority when I return to India. Education and health is a priority. And the last 10 years, as you rightly said, it is decreased.
When you talk of IT, you're talking of just one section of top engineers and all, but leaving a lot of other youngsters away. The demographics advantage is lost. So what's happening at the state level and at the national level today is the skilling is coming up in a very big way. Now, how do you upskill people? So either you upskill them, skilling either to colleges, engineering and others, but then in India you have this huge ITIs. ITIs where 10th class inter-pass students, they join ITIs, they become plumbers, electricians, mechanics and all. Now they are upgrading these ITIs to such a level where after 12th class you do 3-4 years of ITI, 3 years of ITI, you become as qualified as an engineer and you get as good a job as an engineer. So it's not necessary that everybody has to be an engineer. And for example, today EV is a big market. Now in EV, battery making is coming into ITIs to skilling. So that will create millions and millions of jobs. Now this is cutting across politics. This is taking advantage of the demographics of our country where skill level in most of them is limited. So how do you make them eligible for a job? Do they just remain a welder or a plumber or can they scale up? So institutes like this are going to help. And this is a policy of the government there, here, and it will continue, whoever is in governance.
I'm very glad to be in the midst of August gathering, and particularly my batchmates and senior batchmates from Nizam College. My question is on the Jandan account. There's a reference to about 28 crore Jandan accounts liberally opened across the country. But I have a personal experience. I come from a village, studied in Hyderabad, of course, I'm living here. But whenever I go to my village, I interact with the general public who use these accounts. They are more or less utilized for giving credits out of welfare schemes. Credit is going through IT systems and all that. But my experience says that many of these owners of these funds are village folk who don't know how to use an ATM because the banks are now more or less stopping people to go to the branches to collect monies. They have to use necessarily an ATM card. These cards are, when I found that, they are in the hands of money lenders. More or less, the funds are utilized by them. They might have borrowed some amount, definitely, they have to repay. But most interestingly, the monies are not going to the right people for the right purposes. Exactly. This is my personal experience.
Maybe
I'm an uncle, using all types of KYC. The primary issue is the KYC. And these accounts are utilized for cyber crimes by all, most of these people. And many account holders are made scapegoats as criminals. They're branded as criminals, they are taken to the police station. My question is linked to this, the voting rights. These accounts are opened using mostly voter ID cards, which are also issued to register as voters. But when I said 1.8% as a difference between the winning party and the losing party, it's more than that. It's not just 1 point. I'm just going through my own constituency, this Rajendra constituency, where the registered electorate is 4.4 lakhs in the last election. Out of that, the winning candidate got only 1.24 lakh. It's out of the total poll votes, which is less than 50%. Where are we going? Is it a majoritarian democratic government? In my view, it's totally a minority group. So we must do something about it to see that voting rights should be made compulsory, and those who do not vote, they should be scrapped of all these things.
We'll inform the.
No, not that. My question is now directed to the elections, where these accounts are open mostly using voter ID cards, but people do not vote.
Well, that's a good suggestion for the electoral reforms.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Vivekanand. See, this is a supplementary question to what the worker asked. See, last 10 years, I have been representing a lot of various forums. The education in Telangana is completely weakened, especially primary level and secondary school level. I'm not even talking about junior college, degree college or universities. In universities, there is 65% of the staff is an ad hoc basis, most of the universities. And junior college lecture recruitment was not there, and primary teachers recruitment was not there. Now, most of the money what is collected that has went into the freebies by the BRS government. Congress government came to power with 1.8% difference, giving more, offering more freebies. So how are you going to do this basic education? How you are going to fund it? Where are the funds going to come from? When you are more thrust on this particular freebies, The education is the only thing which can change a person. Just now, I think in your opening remarks, you said that because divided by caste, that happened very, unfortunately it happened. How are we going to fund this particular education? Because education from 8% is brought down to 4.5%.
Pushing the freebies to the needy, poorer people. But what about the freebies of 16 lakh crores given to the few business houses waiving their loans? It's our money, public money. So it's a very interesting thing. It's a challenging to fulfill those promises, guarantees we made. We thought like 4 lakh some crore debt. Now it happened to be 7 lakh crore. But my request to the distinguished people here, don't question irrationally giving those freebies to the poor and the needy people. But you don't raise your voice on those 16, 18 lakh crores given to the few business people. That's also not right? So how can you, this you are ignoring it. And second, one quick point, it has become, without paying money, especially not just the poorer, we think that some area people only, people think that, oh, they take money and vote. No. One of the MLC candidate told me, in Tarnaka area, both wife and husband are professors in Usmania University, 2 children working in IT sector, and this candidate went up to the 3rd floor to give money to the whatever teacher. When coming down, that family knocked down, opened the door and asked this MLC, otherwise my distinguished friend should have won. So this MLC candidate then opened the door and you are going without giving us money. We have 4 votes. I'm talking about the family which gets about 5 lakh income per month. So it's very sad. In colonies, I contested LB Nagar. Some of the colonies, they ask all the well-to-do people, liquor and saath mein khana snacks should be given. That's much cheaper, that's much expensive than giving 1,000 or 1,500 to the Nandanavanam other slum areas. So it's a very sad state of affairs.
I think we'll have last 2% finally. I think they are all asking to me.
Yeah, I am Shankar Narayan. I have a simple question. Who can become a politician? I mean, is there any qualification? Like every profession, there is a minimum qualification to become a politician. I agree that politics is open.
Have you done any murders?
Coming to that.
Are you any land kabza?
Precisely. See, we have sorted out.
You are automatically qualified.
That's not a joke, sir.
Yeah, I have let me finish. See, the EVM problem seems to be sorted out with the recent Supreme Court judgment. That is, I am looking at the hardware issue. Now the software, which is the people whom we are going to vote for, who are they? You have this helicopter politician coming with money bags from somewhere and plonking onto a constituency. Earlier, politics was a social cause, like all of you were student leaders. You came up from the ground and came up. So my suggestion is, whether it's workable or not, whether an MLA can only stand for MLA if he has won a panchayat or at least contested in a panchayat or a corporate election. You can become an MP only if you have contested in a MLA election. Why don't we have this grading so that people from the grassroots come up and they have a connect to the ground? Otherwise, you will have politicians coming from Uttar Pradesh taking part in here, or Azharuddin coming from here and going to Uttar Pradesh with no connect to the local. So this is some suggestion which erudite people like you should think about to cleanse our system and make it more rooted.
Yeah, you started with a simple question. Post ended up with a lot of suggestions.
I just
we take it in a good way. We'll answer it.
Small one thing. You were speaking about Azharuddin contesting from Rampur or somewhere, Muradabad, and Jayasudha from Rampur. But friends, you must also understand that this is a huge, vast country where our people, the earlier freedom fighters and then the senior leaders of any party, they used to fight for the people, and for them the country was one. You know, P.V. Narasimha Rao contested from Ramtek, George Fernandez belonging to Karnataka, he contested from Bihar and he settled down in Bihar. Sharad Yadav is from Madhya Pradesh, settled down in Bihar. So therefore, those were the days when a person of any origin, any state, used to contest from any place, and they were national leaders in those days, and we still emulate them, like Madhuli Mae, maybe Sosri, Sajjan Singh Vajpayee used to contest from different constituencies. They had no problem because they felt that country is theirs. They belong to everywhere. So that was there was no lamppost some politics they used to say. So therefore, contesting from any other place, from this place or that place, I don't think it is a point where someone has to debate. Secondly, as far as the other questions are concerned, I think individual perspective whether it should be now in Rajasthan we have a chief minister with first time MLA. We have so many first time leaders who came to politics and then. But one thing I would like to tell you that you always don't blame the politicians. You don't know how they sacrifice. You come to our houses, you will see how many people we help them every morning. Suresh Reddy may agree with us, Madhu Yaskhi, for the fees, for education, for marriages, for as I said, roads, for how many times, whenever Chandrasekhar used to ask us time, we used to give, whenever I was there, they used to come to us. It was we deal with people, not for money, not for anything, because of the passion to serve the people. And the life of the politician. Morning we go out and what happens in my house, what my children are doing, what they are doing. We are bothered about the country, about the people. And that is what I always feel, because you are the only persons who are accountable. After 5 years, Madhu Yaskhi will be asked, what you have done, tell me. He has to give his progress card. No other profession, no other person has that accountability to the people. It is only the politician who has accountability to the people. So have sympathy for politicians. Thank you.
Hello. 1 minute. I was jokingly said something, but I like to add here. As politicians may lead influential life, but very incomplete life. I can tell one of my experiences. My sister used to live here in Karkana. I was going for a campaigning arranged meeting for Rahul Gandhi in Sindhapur, Karnataka. After crossing Raichur, I got a call that my sister passed away. But that same day evening, Rahul Gandhi meeting, I'm in charge there. I still have to go there while having, crying, but I couldn't express. But I completed that meeting and returned to Hyderabad. So such incidents happens in many political life. What I said is, in democracy, your opinion makes a difference. Don't think that, I'm alone. My akela bolne se kya hoga? No, it does make a difference. Whether it is a product or politics, political candidate, whether our party, BJP, we are all conducting surveys. Who's popular, likely to win. So your opinion does make a difference. Sitting at home, expressing your opinion on social media will make a change. I'll assure you on that. So many non-serious people getting into politics or business people, other people coming in. But don't think that politics or what will happen doesn't make any difference to me. No. It makes difference to your life, to your family. Politics is whether directly, indirectly involved, you are involved in politics. So please express your opinion. It makes make a change.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You said, who is a politician? And my answer to that is, a politician is a reflection of the society. So, we have to keep that in mind, number one. Number two, you also made a very good suggestion about, the qualification. For MP, he has to be this, for MLA, he has to be this. Well, partly that is also answered. If you look at the grassroots level in the Panchayati Raj system, if you want to contest for a Sarpanch, you have to be a local fellow. For a Mandal, you have to be the local person. For a MLA, you have to be the state person. And only for Parliament, you have to be an Indian. So, that kind of, marking is already there. So, don't be misunderstood on that. And I really appreciate the reason for you to say that, probably I presume, is that, you're seeing the kind of reports which come out has kind of created some kind of anti-politician kind of feeling to you, and I'm not blaming you, because we are the only available resource for you where you can spit fire. You go to a municipal office, you can catch the councillor by the collar, but you can't even touch the attendant. So that is the liberty you have. Number one. Number two, yes, some politicians are very, bravish, and they are quite of a lot of show off and all. You see, we with gunmen, 4 gunmen walking around and say, what is this? I know a lot of politicians who face the problem. If their gunmen are provided, subah they look, kahan shadi hai, I need to feed those fellows. He wants to go to a wedding to feed them. And there are not many politicians who are like that. So protection bhi chahiye and financial stability bhi nahi hai. So they are black sheep in every society, in every work area. So let us not presume by those people that everybody is there. And India as a democracy, my friend, you watching it, we are evolving. We are evolving financially, we are evolving academically, intellectually. So we are a nation where we can sit back after 75 years. In spite of all the wrongdoings, we are still proud to be Indians. I must say that. Thank you.
I've been following the labour migration from the northern states into Telangana, and I feel in the few years this is going to become a problem for all of us, like in Bombay. On one hand, you claim that Acha din aa gaya UP mein and Bihar mein, but all those workers are here. I have nothing against the workers; they are very hard working. But the states where you are in power of the so-called double engine, I have the National Family Health Survey data which I have seen. It doesn't speak well about your double engine sarkars. And you had sacked Mr. James after that report came out. But those are the facts, that wherever you are in power, the labour migration is happening to the south. Now, how are you going to deal with this? All of
Labour migration is nothing new for our country. Far more migration was there earlier. Then you have Orissa people migrating to south and all for the hotel business. If you find a lot of hotel waiters and then the stall owners and all, make Chinese food and all, they are from Orissa. See, people go out to any place where they get good opportunities, good salaries, good wages. Even in Bombay also it happened the same thing. People migrated from South India, people migrated from Gujarat, many people. So migration, I don't think it is a matter of concern, because it also adds to our economic development. You are developing, you are constructing a building, you need construction workers. So therefore, some states have their expertise. Orissa, the manual power, they have good expertise. So one migration, I don't think it's a wrong sign, wrong signal. Second, because again they go back to their own place. And it's not that they only come to one place, they go to all places. And from our place also, there are people who go to Afghanistan. There are people who went to other places, Punjab. Our own Telugu people, from Mongol, they have gone, from Bhavnagar, they have gone, from Nizamabad, they have gone for agricultural purpose. So migration, I don't think is something wrong. But as the health index is concerned, so you should compare it with the past few years. See, maybe I don't say that North India. There are so many. As you said that Bihar was the taken as an yardstick for development. No, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and all. These are the states, Bimaro states. They are known as Bimaro states. Slowly, they are now coming in the path of development. So that you have to see how they were earlier. The law and order situation in Uttar Pradesh, what was there? The education system, what was there? The other aspect, you have the communal instance of communal. So all those things, if you see and compare from the earlier period, I think the present structure, the present government, it is better than the previous ones, and the comparison should be taken place. I agree that they are not fully because they are still developing areas. So I don't think that migration and this development and all, they have to be taken in a positive way. Thank you.
Yeah, let's have a last question from the young lady.
Thank Mohan sir, गुरुस्वामी सर के इतना सटल तरीके से आप लोग ने यहाँ पर जो भी डिबेट किया है, ये तो बहुत कम हमको देखने मिलता है ग्राउंड रियलिटीज में, जहाँ पर हम देख रहे हैं सोसाइटी के अंदर जो जिस तरीके से होना चाहिए वो यहाँ पर नजर आया है पॉलिटिशियंस के बीच में. एक्चुअली ये जो एक दूसरे पर कीचड़ उछालने का वक्त नहीं है. जो कुछ हुआ है, अगर उसी वक्त कोई पॉलिटिशियन गलत काम करता है या कोई गवर्नमेंट गलत काम करते हैं तो दूसरे की जिम्मेदारी है, चाहे वो प्रजा हो चाहे वो दूसरे अपोजिशन लीडर्स हो। अब फॉर एग्जांपल अगर कालेश्वरम डैम का कुछ गलती है तो उसी वक्त अपोजिशन के लोग थे जो उसको बता सकते थे कि गलती हो रही थी। कहाँ है करप्शन जब हो रहा था तो बाकी सब लोग बैठे क्यों देख रहे हैं। दूसरी बात यह है कि जो सोसाइटी में जो आपने कहा है, मैं खुद भी एक एजुकेशन डिपार्टमेंट से हूँ तो मुझे मालूम है कि सोशल ह्यूमैनिटीज को किस तरीके से दबाया जा रहा है। कहना तो बहुत आसान है कि हर एक ह्यूमैनिटीज को लेना चाहिए, हर एक की अपनी जिम्मेदारी है, लेकिन स्पेशली तेलंगाना के अंदर हम देख रहे हैं इवन टिस जैसी सोशल स्टडीज के लिए जो प्रीमियर इंस्टीट्यूट है वहां पर भी एक स्टूडेंट जिसको हम समझते हैं कि सोशल स्टडीज का जो सोशल साइंसेस है उसके लिए वहां पर खड़े होने के लिए इजाजत नहीं है, पॉलिटिकली ओपिनियन रखने की इजाजत नहीं है। आपने कहा कि पॉलिटिक्स के अंदर स्टूडेंट्स के अंदर जो सोसाइटी का जो कुछ भी है वो देखने की क्षमता कम हो गई है। इसकी वजह भी एक है कि जो भी अगर कोई ओपिनियन पेश किया जाता है तो हम देख रहे हैं कि कॉलेजेस के अंदर स्पेशली यूनिवर्सिटी लेवल के अंदर इतना एग्रेसिव तरीके से उनके खिलाफ बात की जाती है, उनके लैंग्वेज, उनका डिक्शन और उनके लिए जो भी स्पेशली गर्ल्स के लिए जिस तरीके से एटमॉस्फेयर बनाया जाता है कि हम बेहतर है कि दूर ही रहें इन गंदगी से, ये एटमॉस्फेयर है। चाहे वो बीजेपी, वी डू नॉट वांट एनी फ्रीबीज, वी डू नॉट वांट मुस्लिम वुमेन हो या कोई भी रहो, हम माइनॉरिटीज किसी का भीख नहीं चाह रहे, हमको सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट चाहिए। हम अपना जो कुछ भी सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट के लिए अपनी जान देंगे, अपनी कंट्री के लिए जान देंगे। कोई अगर कोई करप्शन कर रहा है और आपने जैसे कहा कि हम 5 किलो आटा दिए और पीछे से आप 5 पॉट अदानी को दे रहे हो, 5 किलो आटा भीख में मांग रहे हो। एक गरीब इंसान को जब शक्ति नहीं मिलती है तो गवर्नमेंट की उसको वक्त नहीं है हम उसको मारने की। जब प्राइम मिनिस्टर माइनॉरिटीज के साथ इतनी बदतमीजी से बात करते हैं और जब आप लोग समझते हैं कि सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है तो ये कंट्री नहीं है। हम इस कंट्री के लिए नहीं मर रहे हैं। हमको ऐसी कंट्री चाहिए जिसके अंदर इक्वालिटी हो, हमको ऐसी कंट्री चाहिए जिसके अंदर हर एक को सेल्फ रेस्पेक्ट मिले, औरतों की इज्जत हो। क्या आपके प्राइम मिनिस्टर को ये नहीं मालूम है हमारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं हो? अगर वो माइनॉरिटीज के लिए बिल्कुल नहीं चाहता है तो कह दे क्या माइनॉरिटीज का प्राइम मिनिस्टर मैं नहीं हूँ, मुस्लिम्स का प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं हूँ। 20 करोड़ से ज्यादा मुसलमान हैं, वो कह दे कि हम इनके लिए रिप्रेजेंट नहीं करते हैं। आप कह दीजिए उस बात को। मंगलसूत्र कोई भी आके ले जाता, मतलब वुमेन की कोई इज्जत ही नहीं है, चाहे कोई भी आके लेके जाए, चाहे वो मेरी हिंदू बहन हो, उसके लिए आप ये बात कह देते हैं कि मंगलसूत्र आके कोई भी लेके जाएगा। ये क्या बात होगी? हम इस तरीके के रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं चाहते हैं। जब पॉलिटिक्स एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट करके गवर्नमेंट के जरिए से प्रजा को, लोगों को फायदा पहुंचाने वाली गवर्नमेंट हो तो वही गवर्नमेंट सक्सेसफुली चलेगी। चाहे आप कितनी भी बात करें, चाहे वो कांग्रेस रहे, चाहे बीआरएस रहे, चाहे कोई रहे, हर एक का वक्त होता है। जब वो सच्चाई के लिए काम करती है तो वही उसकी ताकत बनती है।
आपसे पूरे हमदर्द है हम, और आपको एक हिम्मत देने वाली बात ये है कि कोई भी प्रधानमंत्री बनो, कोई भी मुख्यमंत्री बनो, इस देश चलता है संविधान से, किसी के मर्जी से नहीं चलती। तो जब तक संविधान जिंदा है हम सब जिंदा है। तो आप हो, हिंदू हो, मुसलमान हो, क्रिश्चियन हो, जो भी हो, सब दे आर ऑल गाइडेड एंड बाइंडेड बाय द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया। अब तकलीफ की बात यह है चुनाव का मौसम है तो इसलिए थोड़ा बहुत ये राजनीति चलते रहती, मगर उससे आपका हिम्मत नहीं हारना चाहिए। आपको रक्षा देने वाली बात है सुविधा।
Mr. all of them for taking the time out, answering all the questions despite the busy schedule, and a big clap for all of them. And also a big clap for all of you for